No jokes this time. We're going to dive right in. We are the Bittersweet Gamers, though.
I am We Squared.
And I'm the Opinionator. All right.
Let's take stock of the situation.
So, last night, Makoto and Sayaka switched rooms because Sayaka had been threatened.
Right.
After the switch, this happened and Sayaka has disappeared.
That's correct.
We must now take a look around and try and see what exactly happened. We are thinking that it was more likely to be Leon who was shaking up the door.
Right.
Just because he was the only one who was hostile and, like, in a really bad emotional state. The other people we see as threatening are not people that we think would take, like, such an obvious brute force approach. The big question, though, after all that talk about not opening the door, no matter who it was, even if it was Makoto, which we even joked about, Sayaka let this person in.
Yeah, otherwise the door would have been kicked in or something.
And, I mean, I'm not even sure anybody other than Sakura could break that door down.
Right?
So, let's start. There's a keychain on the ground. It has my name on it, so this must be my room key. I gave it to Sayaka when we traded rooms.
Alright, standard stuff so far.
It looks like the lint roller has way less sheets than it used to.
Almost like it was used to mop up something... golden?
More importantly, where's Sayaka?
No, we need to take stock of every single... Are there scratch marks on that bed that go into the sheets?
Yeah, we're gonna get we're gonna get to that. I do not wish to go into the bathroom.
I also don't want to go into the bathroom. We should save it for last.
I am very, very, very surprised. I didn't think Sayaka would make it, but I thought she would... My prediction, anyway, was that she would make it about halfway through the game.
It's possible, as in regards to how someone got in. Someone might have the ability to pick locks.
Okay, that's very...
Of course, we know who we're suspicious of in that regard. Celeste and Kyoko. Although, there's no blood on the blade. The weapon.
Right, okay. This is the replica sword I brought back for self-defense. It has been taken out of its sheath. Oh, for crying out loud, fine!
No. We need to take stock of everything, Damon. Don't let the game decide our pace.
Okay, no, you're right. I don't remember if this sword had a blade or not.
I do remember them saying that it was decorative.
I mean, you could still use it as a weapon, and it would still be fairly effective, so that...
You did specifically say that it wasn't going to be much use for, like, stabbing or slashing someone.
So in that case, where did the scratches on the ground come from? Billy actually brought this up right while we were in between recording. If it had no blade, how could it produce these straight scratches? Yeah. So there's slashes and gouges on the walls and the floor.
They seem kind of randomly placed as well.
Well, yeah, like combat was going on. Like, okay, like, say whoever it was...
Okay, no, yeah, I see. It's like a path leading to the bathroom.
Yeah, whoever it was came in, got the sword, and started chasing Sayaka as she was retreating towards the bathroom.
Right.
Bed's been damaged, too. Toolkit still inside the drawer.
I checked the notepad. I mean, I don't suspect anything will be on it, but... I checked the trash can.
Yeah, I was about to head that way if I can find it.
You can't.
Not allowed.
Like, I understand that you're panicked, Makoto, but we have to get as much information as we can.
The thing is you better take the time to calm your heart as much as you can, or not calm, but steel your heart.
Yeah.
For what you're gonna find when you go in here.
Okay.
Let's take a look inside.
Whoa!
God damn it! I see Danganronpa decided to take the motivational approach.
Yeah. Jesus.
It took me a second to realize that I was screaming. What I saw dug its way through my eyes and buried itself in my brain. And then... everything went black. When I opened my eyes, I found myself staring at a huge ceiling. It was a ceiling I remembered seeing before. And when I sat up, I saw someone looking at me. Again, it was someone I'd seen before.
They changed the backdrop on the stage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I just wanted to point that out.
Oh, you're awake, finally. Are you okay?
Now's no time for sleeping. Get your ass up!
Huh?
You were unconscious, dude. I had to carry you back here.
Thanks, man.
Well,
it's no surprise, considering what happened.
I actually kind of appreciate that Yasuhiro carried Makoto back.
Yeah.
That kind of says something that he was the one to do it.
Right.
What happened? Ah! Hey, are you okay?
No.
So it wasn't a dream? What I saw, it was real?
That's right. It really did happen. Sayaka is dead.
A deep, dark despair worked its way through my body and then exploded out of me. I shot up and took off running.
Hey, where do you think you're going?
I have to see for myself. I have to see if Sayaka is...
just give up.
You can check once, twice, 1,000 times. Sayaka is completely and irrevocably dead.
No, I have to see for myself.
Why?
Listen to us, man. What do you think's gonna happen if you go out there?
Well, what good is it gonna do just sitting around here? I mean, why are we all hanging out in a gym at a time like this? Our friend, Sayaka, she's dead. Dead. When I said that, it finally hit me. I realized she really was gone.
Calm down.
None of us want to be here right now, either.
Then why?
Shouldn't it be obvious? Monokuma, he told us all to come here. Well, hold on, don't talk like that. We all protested it. I mean, we remember the terrible price Sayaka had to pay. But...
So...
I'm the one who convinced them to come. Right now, we need to do whatever he says.
This time, yes, we do.
We're his prisoners, right? It's not a good idea to defy him without reason.
At least not on something like this.
Correct.
We don't need to make any more sacrifices than we already have.
If you guys would have listened to we, the commentators, you might have been able to stop this, you know. Why should we listen to anything he has to say? It's obvious he's the one who killed Sayaka!
Wrong.
I would never do that! If you can believe anything, you can believe that!
He is telling the truth, unfortunately.
He's here again.
Hey.
Unless someone violates a school regulation, I absolutely will not interfere.
We've already gotten that idea.
I can promise you, I won't do anything that goes against the purpose of your school life here.
Oh, really? Like we pointed out before, I am still concerned that, or not concerned, but wondering if the purpose of it is to get people to not do this and escape. If that's the case, then this line becomes significant because the purpose would be to escape.
Right.
Listen up.
I'm famous at safari parks throughout the world for following the Bear Times 1 rule.
Bear
What?
times... I don't even care. Shut up. We have better things to do than listen to your stupid puns.
But...
Then who did it? Who killed her?
Come on.
You already know the answer. The one who killed her is one of you.
Nobody had a reply for that. One of us killed Sayaka? Don't be stupid. That's...
What's the matter? You guys all look like you're about to see a dove get shot up with a Gatling gun. Don't you remember what I told you when this all began? One of you decided to kill Sayaka so that you could graduate. Someone's just following the rules. There's nothing wrong with that.
Well...
Well,
You're lying, right?
Of course he's lying! I'm telling you, he killed her!
wrong.
Nope, sorry. One of you is now a bona fide killer. I'm so proud. If they wanted to, the one who did it could testify to that little fact.
What? Without thinking, I looked around at everyone. They all had the same look on their faces. Everyone looked at each other with a combination of fear, suspicion, and confusion. Are you serious?
Someone killed someone!
It's amazing what some people are capable of.
Hey, hold on. Don't just assume he's telling the truth.
Stop talking.
That's enough. Before we do anything else, I'd like to confirm something with the stuffed animal here. If one of us really did kill her, that person gets to graduate from the school, right?
And that is, of course, the purpose of why we are here in this assembly, in order to get that question answered.
Yep. Huh?
Come on.
Don't play dumb. That's what you said, isn't it? If you kill someone, you get to leave.
Oh, poo ho 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 ho.
Ha 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 ha!
I'll react to that at a more appropriate time. Poo ho. He's really beginning to irritate me.
Why are you laughing? Pooh, it's cuz. Naive. You're just so naive. You think it's really that easy? You can just kill someone and waltz on out of here?
Hey.
You're super
Come on
naive.
now.
Devilishly naive. Hellishly naive. No. The real thing has just begun.
The real thing.
Now then.
Are you ready? Allow me to explain the second part of the rule regarding graduation.
Please do.
Just like I explained before, you must kill someone if you want to leave. However, even if you do that, there's still one more part to the agreement you have to uphold. Remember?
We should have looked at the regulations again right before doing this, but, I mean, because I can't remember exactly how it was worded,
If you get blackened.
Right, and as it had been... No, we'll just wait.
Then perhaps...
You are referring to rule number 6 of the school regulations. If you are the blackened that committed the murder, you can't be found out by the other students. I thought that was
Right.
but I couldn't remember what exactly the
Yeah.
wording was, and without that wording, there's no point in commenting on it.
Right.
That is what you are talking about, is it not?
In other words,
Bingo! It's not enough to just kill someone. You have to actually get away with it. Which naturally means you need a system in place to assess whether or not it's been gotten away with. So a certain amount of time after a murder has taken place, a class trial will begin.
On the one hand, I want to cheer, hooray, investigations and trials, and even though we knew that coming in,
Right.
and what everything was, how it was going to
We didn't
work
want it like this.
involving murders, now that it has actually happened with Sayaka, no less, I kind of don't want to cheer about anything.
Right.
Class trial?
Yep, it'll begin a few hours after the murder. Everyone will gather together, including the blackened who committed the murder. They and the spotless students will all engage in one big debate showdown.
Oh, I have been waiting for that!
Uh-oh.
during the trial, you'll have to present your arguments about who you think the blackened is. And once everything comes to an end, the outcome will be decided by popular vote.
Oh.
Popular vote, huh?
I guess the jury.
Right, but that means that you have to just convince a majority of the people on
Yeah.
the jury.
Yeah.
So perhaps that means that the arguments you have to make, I mean, I don't know how the system works,
Right.
but perhaps that means the arguments you have to make should be tailored towards the people you're making them to.
Right.
If the answer you've arrived at is correct, only the one that disturbed your peace will be punished. The rest may continue their communal life.
And by punished,
I don't know.
punished people aren't going to be going anywhere
Probably not.
in one piece.
They'll probably get to go in the rocket.
If you choose poorly, then the one who got away with murder will survive, and the rest of you will receive your punishment.
Oh, God!
So only one person needs to graduate? So if you get this wrong, everyone dies?
Holy crap!
Which of course means your school life will come to an end. As far as class trial rules go, that's all there is to it. Well...
So, what exactly is this punishment you keep talking about?
I don't suspect we'll really be getting the details at this time.
Oh, well, to put it simply,
What?
it's execution!
Right.
Execution!
What?
And by execution, you mean...
Execution is execution. Execution!
Pretty straightforward.
Yeah, so if we get it wrong and
We
the
all
person
die.
gets away with it, then everyone is toast.
Yeah.
That is a really interesting wrinkle in all of this.
I think that's a way to keep personal things out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay. No, you're
Like,
right.
why
You're
would
right.
someone have a personal agenda to make this guy go free just out of spite or whatever other petty complaints
Right.
when he knows that he'll die too?
And
if
it
it's
also
wrong?
means the people who are going to be casting their votes are going to be doing so based on like a strong sense of self-preservation. Like I've been convinced it's this. This is what it has to be, and I'm
Right.
betting my life on it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
So it's like more tense. That is a really good idea.
Electric chair. Poison gas. Torn apart like a paper plane in a hurricane.
Shut up.
So, to make sure I understand,
Seriously, I want no part of his stupid jokes.
if we get the culprit right, then only they die. But if we get it wrong, all the rest of us get executed?
Well,
What a smart little chimpanzee you are! Look at you, implying you didn't do it without actually saying it! So it's basically what the outside world calls a lay judge system, or an inquisition type thing, which means you'll be deciding who you think the killer is. But judge carefully, because all your lives are on the line. Okay, let me just add the rule I just described to your handbook. Make sure to keep it in mind.
That's one I don't think we'll be forgetting the precise wording of and particulars of anytime soon.
Right?
hey,
Wait, hold on a second.
How are you
You're
talking about?
freaking insane, you know that?
I'm a bomb bear. What do you think I am?
A class trial? What the hell is that? I don't want anything to do with it.
what's this?
Why not?
Stop it.
What do you mean, why not? Why do I have to waste my time trying to figure out who murdered someone else?
What?
What? Are you saying you're not gonna participate in the trial? Only punishment awaits such blasphemy!
The hell are you
What?
talking about?
Punishment?
I might, I don't know, throw you in a deep, dark, scary prison or something.
Shut the hell up.
Say whatever you want. I'm not gonna be part of this.
I
Don't be so selfish!
Stop it.
You're the one being selfish. Kill whoever you want. It's got nothing to do with me.
Evil standing before me. I'm trembling with fear.
I am getting really pissed off by Monokuma. I understand that this is what you are supposed to be thinking. It is having an effect.
But I won't give in to such evil. It's my style to stick it out and resist till the very end. Go, Mono Rangers!
Admirable. That's the sort of attitude we should be having. Obviously, getting this information also immediately makes you think, okay, so they are trying to get someone to go all the way through the trial system.
Right.
But I think that may still be too premature.
Yeah. If you really want to get out of here, you'll have to go through me first!
Gladly! Let's get this out of the way and bring it on after about a month or so of careful planning.
Oh, God!
As he said that, he came charging at us! Although it was more of a waddle.
Dang, these short legs!
But then...
Gyume!
Gyume! A classic phrase of attack. Oh no, I see.
Yeah.
Enjoying yourself now.
Kind of.
You. Violence against Headmaster Monokuma is not allowed. You violated a school regulation.
Now just run off! It was totally worth it!
I invoke the mighty summon spell. To me, godly spear, Gunye!
What the hell? Oh my god!
This wasn't supposed to... Why me?
Suddenly, right at the end, her eyes shot wide open. And just like that, she never moved again.
No way!
What the? I don't...
This can't be real. No way!
Well now.
Now I am painfully aware of the great power and meaning of a promise. I really wanted to keep a corpse from popping up for no good reason, you know? But I guess you all needed to be taught a lesson after all. Ah, what an amazing promise.
We'll get to this later.
But now you guys understand, right?
Now you see just how serious I am.
So back before, when it just exploded, that really was a, you just don't know all the rules yet, so we're going easy on you.
Yeah.
We'll process all of that later.
Yeah.
Defy me and you get shot full of holes, exploded, buried alive, disintegrated, etc.
It may have been the gun cameras. I can't see anything else it could have been.
Maybe.
Like, who says they have to shoot bullets?
Right.
So, if you don't want that to happen to you, you'd best obey those school regulations.
Jesus.
Well, we got a lot of valuable information out of this one.
At the cost of 2 lives.
Junko's body had been impaled with a bunch of spears. An unbelievable amount of blood started pouring out of her body. It was the first time I'd ever seen the moment someone's life came to an end. Nobody there could deny what they'd seen. Junko, who until just a second ago had been our friend, was dead. She died. She'd been murdered. I will say, like, we really like Junko.
Yeah!
And that really sucks. I will definitely say that at least our judgment about being able to trust her was never proven wrong.
That's true.
And that she did have the most reasonable reactions. Mm-hmm. After all, her reaction to, like, that hostility with Monokuma was to argue with him and say, I don't want anything to do with this, which clearly wasn't a smart move.
Right!
And then step on him. All of it was, like, really natural and straightforward, which is... I mean, even her freaking out, like, I don't care about anybody else. Like, under these circumstances, I think an emotional outburst like that only makes sense. So, at least as far as we know, it's nice to see that there probably was one sort of kind of realistic, basically good person. Mm-hmm. Also, 2 of who we were sort of counting on as our staunchest allies happened to be the first to go.
Right?
That's the way to do it, game. That's the way to get us. In simple terms, it was the death of a human being.
Hey,
It's really not all that shocking.
Will you just shut up and get to the point?
She just died, that's all. Just went and died. It's no more remarkable than the inevitable demise of the entire human race. It's just as natural as the eventual end of the world itself.
I'm not even gonna bother remarking on any of the gobbledygook garbage that he's spouting.
This isn't some superhero comic, so it's not like when you die, you didn't really die. This is reality!
I'm unfortunately quite aware of that.
Why?
Why did you have to kill her? Didn't you say you would put her in prison or something? I changed my mind.
I knew it.
No, you've been wanting to kill this entire time.
Yeah.
say what?
Kill this entire time? Don't be silly! You can't kill time! Or are you being metaphorical? Are you saying I wanted to waste time this whole time?
Just don't even engage with this nonsense.
Come on, what do you take me for? I'm Monokuma!
Well, now.
Anyway, none of that matters right now. I have something I'd like to give you to help you in your search for the Blackened.
Oh, thank you so much.
This little file has all the information I've gathered about the death in question. I like to call it...
It's the Monokuma file!
So you mean we don't have to investigate ourselves? No, that's just garbage, but I suppose it's going to give us all the pertinent physical details?
Probably. I mean, naturally you guys aren't experts at this kind of thing, so you can only do so much with the corpse. Not that I'm a-judging. So instead, I've gathered up everything I know about the circumstances and cause of death.
Okay, I actually
That's why there's cameras everywhere.
Yeah, probably so. I really appreciate this, because this way we can actually use the forensic evidence without having to worry about how there's somebody who can generate it.
Right. What's that? How do I know the cause of death, you ask?
Cameras all over the place?
'Cause the surveillance cameras picked up the whole thing. I got to see it all go down.
So then...
Wait, so then, you know who killed Sayaka? Of course I do! I know everything. If I didn't, I couldn't possibly pass a fair and accurate judgment during the trial. Now could I?
Correct.
That's a good point. The judge has to be able to make the proper decision. That's somehow comforting.
Yeah, I see what she means.
Well,
Now then, please put your full effort behind your investigation. After all, you don't have any choice but to give it your best shot.
Yeah. We in fact do want to give it our best shot. Of course we don't have any choice. If we do it wrong, we all die anyway. But I'll tell you what. I am extremely interested in vengeance.
Yeah.
Now that of course means finding that punk Leon who
Right.
maybe it's not.
Maybe it's not.
Maybe it's not. We're gonna find out.
Yeah.
But not only does that mean finding out who it was that killed Sayaka, but that means against you too, buddy.
Yep.
Don't think we're ever gonna trust you or let you off. Our ultimate goal in this is to get rid of you, or at least escape from you.
Right. Seriously, you don't have a choice? Okay, so we'll meet up for the class trial in a little while. I'm a potent didn't know it.
And with that, Monokuma disappeared once again. He left us stunned and confused. He left us at a total loss. He left us with Junko's dead body, growing colder right in front of us.
Jesus.
And for who knows how long, nobody said a word. The fact that Sayaka and Junko were dead was a huge shock, of course. But there was more to it than that. It was also the idea that one of us had actually murdered someone. And that if we didn't find out who it was, we would all die here. We'd found ourselves in a situation where we couldn't help but look at each other with open suspicion. It was the worst situation imaginable. And yet, even in such a perversely terrible situation, she didn't show the slightest hint that it had gotten to her.
Hey,
Now's not the time to wallow in your depression. What is she, like a robot? The ultimate android?
Well, she's right, though.
The worst thing we can do right now is lose all faith in each other.
I was going to say something kind of similar. This needs to be used as a way to bring us all closer together. So
United against Monokuma.
Yeah, so this crap doesn't happen again.
That would lead to the same disastrous result as having total faith in everyone else.
Yes, exactly that. Because that's just blind optimism and foolishness. Remember, I was talking about we all need to pick ally,
Yep.
we all need to get along, but that is backed by enforcement, you understand?
Yeah.
What?
Huh?
in other words...
Cooperation is absolutely key at this point. Who you decide to trust or not trust is, of course, up to you.
Again, exactly the way we were looking at it. continuing to think about and talk about the deceased certainly isn't going to help anything.
What the heck?
Saying stuff like that is just... How many times have I told you? Anyone who can't adapt will die. Death is the only thing awaiting those who are unable or unwilling to adapt. If that happens, you only have yourself to blame.
That's terrible.
What an awful thing to say, especially after what's just happened.
Just a second.
Right now, exposing the killer is the most important thing.
Yes, you can grieve and you can freak out
Later! Because if we don't, we're all going to die here. She's right. We need to begin our search right away.
Of course.
Either way, we can't run away from the situation, so we have no choice but to move forward.
What the heck?
We just have to do it, I guess. What other choice do we have?
No way in hell am I letting someone kill me. Especially after I done killed someone. I mean, what?
I mean, isn't that reaction is the only one that is qualitatively different from the others?
Right? Alright, damn it. Let's do this.
You just have to do it. Everyone kept repeating that sentiment. They were using it like a mantra to give themselves strength. But they're right. We just have to do this. No matter how much we don't want to, we have no choice. If that's what it takes to survive, then that's what we have to do. On top of that, there was something I needed to find out. I had to know why Sayaka had to die. Why she had to be the one. I'm terrified to find out, but still, I have to know. Otherwise, I knew I'd never be able to accept her death. Which is why I don't have any choice. I have to do this!
You know, something just occurred to me, Damon.
Yeah?
If Sayaka really is psychic, then what if she changed rooms with Makoto because she knew someone was going to kill him?
That's kind of what I was thinking. She had already been in that situation earlier in her room.
Uh-huh.
She even said she didn't oppose the idea of staying in the same room with Makoto, but she wanted to get him out.
Right. Man.
And there are, of course, all those psychic gags. But why did she choose to do it like that? And for God's sake, what about... Can somebody...
She'll probably be removed while we're in the trial.
Who wants to do that?
Not us. Monokuma or one of his robots will do it or some nonsense.
That's even worse.
I mean, I assume that's what's going to happen.
Rather do it myself. Here we go, guys. We took about 25 minutes or so to really walk through everything that had happened so far. Mm-hmm. We wanted to present to you our theories as to who did it and how they did it. And we kind of want to see how our thinking compares to what we actually learned. We thought a lot about the physical evidence as well, but we're not going to talk about it until we're actually in there investigating it. We'll be bringing it up, though. So, having thought about it, the killer is almost undoubtedly...
Yasuhiro. I mean, wait, what?
Junko. Alright, so it's like this, right? Here's the way we're thinking about this. Mm-hmm. First off, Junko's reaction to not only her death, but also when she found out about the class trial, that was when she began getting extremely hostile and erratic. At that point, her behavior changed to something that it was not before, right?
That's correct.
And that ultimately led to her saying, I don't want anything to do with this. I don't want anything to do with this. Why was it that she suddenly protested so strongly in a completely different manner than the way she had protested before? Mm-hmm. Next, she, when in the moment of her death, she said, what was the line exactly?
Something like,
this wasn't supposed to...
Why me?
Right. Like, I should be the one graduating now, and
why
instead
did I die?
I died. And that's a great way to throw you for a loop, right? Mm-hmm. To suddenly be like, oh, look, we found the killer. the killer's already dead. Like, that's a great way to kind of handle the psychological aspect of
I mean, we still have to prove she did it, because if we can't, then we're all dead.
Basically that, yes. A great place to look would be those big old honking acrylic nails of hers, where we assume we'll find some residue of
gold paint.
Gold paint. I think it's not a coincidence that earlier, right before finding Sayaka's body, you could not look in the trash can.
Yep.
But I mean, we don't really know where's like the used lint sheets for the lint roller were, but we'll find that eventually anyway. Now, as far as who initially came and like rattled the door for Sayaka,
we think it was Leon, because he was acting really unstable, and rattling the door like that felt kind of like a spur of the moment, like not well thought out panic.
Like he was going to do it, but he couldn't get in. But that doesn't mean that he's the person who continued on with the affair, because no matter how much he rattled the door, Sayaka wasn't going to open the door, because Sayaka made a point of saying she wasn't going to do it. Either Leon rattled the door, or no one rattled the door, and Sayaka just came to switch with Makoto herself.
You're right!
Because...
we feel that she switched to save Makoto.
Yeah, she kept saying, I'm psychic, I'm psychic, I'm psychic, I'm psychic, and then she would not... She's the one who suggested switching the rooms and would not stay there. She wanted Makoto out to protect him.
Yeah. Because
she clearly cared a lot about him. So it's possible she just knew somebody was going to break into Makoto's room. After all, Makoto's the weakling, right?
Yeah. There's really only one person smaller than him.
So somebody was going to break
Sakura.
So she knew that so she knew that somebody was going to break into Makoto's room, and she just needed an excuse to get in there herself. Mm-hmm. Now, her entire motivation for actually sacrificing her life, we obviously have no idea.
Right.
But the only thing I'm concerned about with the theory of it being Junko is that it appeared as though the door was broken down. The bathroom door was broken down.
Right.
We'll get to that when we begin investigating, but so far, that's our call. It's sort of funny how we 180'd, because like I said, we really liked her.
Right?
And I was just like, man, she was so trustworthy. But then we began to investigate, or to examine the evidence we had. It was like, no, first one was her. There you go.
That's how you do it.
So, here we go. Let's see if we're right.
If we find out who did it, then only that person dies. But if we get it wrong, then all the rest of us face execution.
What the heck?
That's what this ridiculous school regulation said, right? So stupid, yet must overcome urge to follow all school regulations.
No, we have to follow that regulation or we all die!
We need to hurry up and figure out who the culprit is.
Now, it's still possible that Leon did do the door rattling in the first place.
Right, but we're going into this with that specific mindset. That it's Junko.
Right. Well, I'm saying it could be Leon who rattled the door, or no one who rattled the door.
Right.
That's important, because if the door really did get rattled, it would have to be Leon. It couldn't be anybody else, right?
Yeah.
But if it really was Leon, then that proves that he already had the motive and the willingness to kill somebody, and that's going to come out in the trial. But he's the red herring.
Yeah. Literally, red herring. Okay.
It just jumped right out. How do you not take that?
So we're really going to try and find out who did it?
I mean, look at that. Isn't that suspicious?
A little bit, yeah. But everyone's panicking except for the usual suspects.
Hey.
Before we start searching for Sayaka's killer, we need to decide what to do about securing the crime scene.
What do you mean?
You're thinking of putting someone on guard duty so no one can disturb the area, aren't you? After all, if the culprit decides to destroy the evidence, we're pretty much screwed.
Has to be two people who don't interact.
Not really. Monokuma has all the evidence.
Hey.
In that case, I don't mind doing it.
But the killer could still tamper with the evidence that's there to create a contradiction. And who are you going to believe?
That's fair.
Monokuma or your own eyes?
That's fair. I don't like having to think anyway. I'll let you guys figure out who killed that chick.
I'm telling you, you need to do it with two people. That way the person who's guarding it will not be under suspicion. Okay, then we can let Mondo look after the scene.
Well, no. We can't just leave him there alone.
Thank you, Byakuya.
What? Why the hell not?
I mean, look. I trust Mondo, but clearly my track record here is sort of bad.
Well, if we're right, then no one's going to tamper with the murder scene.
Well, yeah, of course.
Right.
Of course.
Stop talking.
Isn't it obvious if you were the culprit? What's the first thing you would do?
Get rid of as much evidence as possible, of course.
By volunteering for guard duty, you're in a position to destroy all the evidence you want. Well, fuck you!
So then.
Fine then, I'll stand on guard duty as well. That way there's no problem. Two-player co-op base defense with the two of them. With their stats, they're totally OP!
Oh, yeah.
I ship it!
Hey, these two are the toughest people here, unless like Kyoko or Byakuya turn out to have like, and maybe even Celeste turn out to have like ninja fighting skills, which is fine. The setting is not realistic, so
Right.
I absolutely accept that if it came up.
Since we won't be able to help investigate, we're putting our faith in the rest of you.
But
I'm still pretty freaked out, but I'll try.
Is this really happening? Screw that piece of shit bear!
Yeah,
I'll punch him again!
You and me both, brother, but don't punch him anymore!
Huh? What's going on?
Dude, the whole time, this has been real. Maybe we were taking it way too seriously right from the beginning, but you haven't been taking it seriously enough.
We can't run away from the situation, so we have no choice but to move forward. Move forward, move forward, move forward, move forward. She says that a lot.
Well, she's right, though.
That's correct.
Ifumi?
Consciousness has crashed. Restarting now. Please wait a moment.
Oh, come off it. Okay, I wasn't sure if I could reach her. She must be so shocked she can't even open her mouth to
I wanted to kill her. I mean,
to
what?
insult us. As she just did.
what should I do?
Someone got right in front of us, Dave. All right, now I guess we're just gonna have to leave her right here. I was thinking earlier, when it comes to disposal,
Oh, the incinerator, yeah.
I'd much rather take her to the incinerator ourselves, like one of us.
Right.
Even if she did do it, which she probably did, I mean, human dignity and all.
Yeah.
I'd rather... I think it would show more solidarity and create more unity with the group if we dispose of her ourselves, like in a funeral.
Right.
Same with Sayaka. Not really at the same time, of course. I gently placed my hand on Junko's lifeless body. I touched her wrist to check for a pulse, like they do in movies and stuff, but she really is dead. There wasn't anything else to say. She was gone.
I don't know why you even bothered to check. After those injuries and losing that much blood.
Look, it's not that I'm not realistic, okay? But humanity.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
Frankly, I'd be shocked if she did survive something like that.
Well, I think Sakura probably could survive that for a little while, but...
Huh? Hold on. Hold on. Just wait a second. She's dead? That means everything that's happened so far is real? That's not a joke or whatever? It's really real?
Man.
Wake up! Hell no! Someone save me! Let me out of here! Somebody help me!
What's your problem?
You're just now accepting that?
You're a little late to the party, man.
Right?
Also, another piece of evidence pointing at Junko, nobody is actually investigating her body. It's not pleasant, sure, but nobody's doing it. That means that when we finally find out, which is probably going to be in the trial, we're going to have to investigate there.
Yeah, I see.
And as another thing that's interesting to mention, everyone else here has the pink circle when you hit the investigate button, but now there is one person who has a blue one. Just significant is all.
Just a second.
Hold on.
Huh?
Before we begin the investigation, isn't there something else we need to discuss?
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
We're going to find out who the killer is.
Yeah, we should be organized, though.
Yeah.
Because the people who do the investigation, well, everybody's life is kind of going to be... I mean, everybody's probably going to want to do it because nobody's really going to trust anybody else.
I mean, Mondo and Sakura are trusting us.
Which is good.
Which just proves that they're trustworthy.
Yes.
Because if we don't, we're all going to die here.
Yeah, I mean, this really should be organized in a way that's pretty acceptable to everyone, but we need to get this done as fast as possible, because we don't know how much time we have.
Right.
Oh!
We haven't talked to Celeste!
You missed Celeste! So you finally noticed.
Huh? Noticed what?
I was looking through the Monokuma file we received.
Oh, right.
We haven't looked at that, too.
Yeah.
And I noticed something very obvious and very unusual. Huh? What are you talking about? Go ahead, take a look. Notice anything interesting about where Sayaka died? She died in Makoto's dorm. She's right!
Then, could it be?
Shut it up right now! Now is not the time! All at once, everyone's gaze turned to me. It only makes sense for us. I mean, we're playing Makoto after all.
Right.
But this is the first thing that has to be dealt with. Oh, hold on a second. You've got it all wrong, and I can totally prove it. I can't believe we didn't even think that we ought to deal with this right away, and we didn't look at the file yet.
Right?
We just wanted to run and start looking at the physical evidence in the room. For just one night, I traded rooms with her. I did it because she was afraid.
You expect us to believe that? Just tell us the truth.
The look in everyone's eyes had done a complete 180 from just a few minutes earlier. The feeling of suspicion and fear had returned. In other words, you think I did it?
So then.
Are we all done talking? We need to begin our investigation soon. At this point, we should split up. No! We need to get to the bottom of this and find out who killed Sayaka.
Why do you think we shouldn't split up?
Yeah, I guess it's okay in this regard. Normally I was speaking from kind of a safety in numbers sort of thing. Though I suppose at this point, the killer probably wouldn't try anything else.
Well, like, who's going to trust Makoto to do any investigation?
That's fair.
I don't really see why all of them couldn't, but there's even roles that have to be assigned that Monokuma just hasn't told us about. I mean, sure, there's a majority vote and everything, but it's like somebody has to do the talking.
Who's going to do the debating? We'll have to collect clues to form a foundation, then construct an argument to come to a final decision.
As it turns out, we kind of already did that.
Yeah!
And we even know what we expect to find with the evidence.
If we get this wrong...
So...
Well, do I really have to say any more?
Yeah, because of the stakes, I imagine everybody's going to be there together, and there's going to be some people who are like, it was totally Makoto.
Yeah.
And somebody...
Actually...
I'd rather you didn't, no.
And somebody's going to accuse Leon too, perhaps.
Probably.
Goodbye.
Everyone pray for good luck.
With that, Kyoko hurried out of the gym.
Goodbye.
I'll be going too.
And just like Kyoko, he was gone before we realized it.
Oh yeah, I'm on guard duty, huh? I'd better head to the scene of the crime. Ah, that's right.
Hey, damn it.
Let me just say this right now. If whatever son of a bitch did this is here right now, and they're thinking of destroying that evidence, they'd better not let me find them. I'll skip the trial and cave their goddamn skull in myself. I'm serious. I will fuck them up.
I believe you! Letting his deadly words hang in the air, he and Sakura ran off. Still say Mondo is trustworthy, but I don't want to be wrong again! But, I mean, we're not detectives or anything, you know, and we're gonna investigate a murder? How do we even do something like that?
Anyway...
We don't really have to do anything particular. We already know who killed Sayaka.
What are you implying? Didn't you see my reaction before?
Right?
This is
It was
very
you.
suspicious.
Okay, that's fine. You just go ahead and accuse Makoto, alright? And you can present everything you want at the trial. I am gonna go get on with solving this crap!
Right?
I'm telling you, it wasn't me!
Don't come any closer! Are you gonna kill me next?
My god, that's terrifying!
Unholy powers are...
Well, I guess it wouldn't hurt to give it a shot. It's not for sure that Makoto's guilty yet.
That's true. We may as well at least check. Just check.
You idiots! I mean, really! Like,
Even
you
if
were
I-
just told that if you pick the wrong person, you all die!
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who you suspect or think might have done it. You've got to find out. You've got to be right!
Yeah. Even if I wanted to, I couldn't help investigate. Wait, why not? I'm not good with blood.
Is that true?
All it takes is one glimpse and I black out. If that is true, that's very important.
One glimpse and she blacked out.
Wait!
I know what you're about to say, and before you begin to say that, what happens after you black out? Well, she doesn't know, but...
But Junko just got killed in front of her.
I thought
that's where I was going.
I thought you were going somewhere else, but yeah, that just blatantly turned out to be a lie.
Yeah.
Also, we were thinking some about Genocide Jack.
Oh, right, yeah.
And this was all Billy. We'll talk about that later. That is not relevant right now.
Based on her reaction, yeah.
But I mean, we pretty much were thinking that it was probably Toko.
That's right. We'll get into that later.
And so if it's like that right there, glimpse of blood, she blacks out.
That's complete false.
Well, if that is true, that could be that could support her being Genocide Jack, because then she goes into a different personality.
But it's completely not true. She just caught Junko die and did not black out.
That might have been because, look, I don't know. I'm just throwing this out there for now because it's something we've thought about.
Oh, yeah?
Well, whatever. I don't think anyone was expecting much from you anyway.
Yeah, that's the truth.
All right, guess I better get going.
Wait, don't go yet. You have to hear me out. But it was pointless. Everyone had already left. And their parting looks at me had still been filled with suspicion. Does everyone really think I'm the killer?
Well, I guess I know who the defendant is.
How did it turn out like this? Seriously, they've got it all wrong. Why do they have to suspect me? I have to do something. Otherwise, everyone will die.
Execution is execution. Execution!
I like how his thought was, I have to prove them wrong or they'll die.
Yes!
He's not concerned about himself. Well, I mean, maybe a little.
Right,
but that's where he first went, was like, I have to save them.
Yeah, at the very least, he put himself on the same plane as them. Because he knows he didn't do it.
Yeah, we know he didn't do it.
Torn apart like a paper plane in a hurricane.
I can't let that happen. I can't let things turn out the way Monokuma wants. All I have to do is find out who really did it. Who really killed Sayaka. Investigate! Yeah, I guess we should look through the Monokuma file, huh? The victim was Sayaka Maizono. The time of death is estimated to be around 1:30 a.m.
Okay.
The body was discovered in Makoto's room in the dormitory. All evidence suggests that the death took place in the bathroom. That's consistent with what the two of us had come up with. The cause of death was a stab wound to the abdomen. There was also an injury to her right wrist.
That's how they got the knife away from her.
Yeah, that is
Smacked her with the sword.
Yeah, that is also consistent with what we were thinking. We'll go into that more when we're there.
Right.
Specifically, yes, exactly consistent.
Yep.
Specifically, the wrist appears to have suffered a fracture. Okay, so since it's looking like we're nearly out of time, we don't want to continue on for like 45 more minutes.
Or do we?
No, maybe we do. Here's what we were thinking. I don't really know how... We still think it was Junko, right? So we're operating under that assumption. Don't know how she got in. She must have been able to pick the lock or something.
I assume.
We wouldn't have pegged her for having the ability to pick a lock.
Yeah, but you know.
I mean, she apparently got in. There's no way that Sayaka would have opened that door for anyone. Not only did we joke about it, but it even came up specifically in the dialogue that Sayaka said, even if it's you, Makoto, I will not open this door. That means somebody broke in. The door wasn't broken, and nobody except perhaps Sakura and Mondo, the two OP characters, right, have the ability to break down those doors. Right. So they must have been able to get in through some other means. Okay. We already know that Sayaka wanted to get a weapon to defend herself. She's the one who brought that up to Makoto. Yet in the
she's
scenes,
the only one who talked about it earlier.
Yeah, she's the only person who talked about it. And yet in the scenes where Makoto is going with Sayaka to help find a weapon, the only thing that happened is he got that sword. So we didn't get a weapon for Sayaka. Well, we also know that Sayaka is one of the people who spends time cooking in the kitchen, right? So that means Sayaka would have had access to the types of knives. Yeah. I mean, that was like a kitchen knife. Yeah. So that means she probably had it. Okay. So the person got into Makoto's room somehow, saw that Sayaka was armed, grabbed the sword. Okay, the sword does not have an edge because that was established. Pulled the sword out of the sheath and began attacking with it.
Right.
Like wildly
Making
swinging it
scratches.
everywhere. It was clearly somebody who doesn't actually have some sort of combat skill,
Right.
or it wouldn't have been so wild all over the place. She hit Sayaka's wrist, because that was the part we were like, how'd they get the knife away?
That's when she had time to get in the bathroom.
Yeah, hit Sayaka's wrist. Sayaka dropped the knife. At this point, she'd already realized that the sword didn't have an edge. It wasn't going to work. We know there's still some holes in this, but this is just our basic theory, okay? And so she threw down the sword, then grabbed the knife. That's when Sayaka had a chance to go run and hide in the bathroom. She shut the door, and because she knew the trick to get inside, because they made a point of saying that there is a trick and that Sayaka knows how to do it now.
Right.
So she got inside, closed the door behind her. Junko then came to the door, had to break the door down somehow because it looked like that door was broken because she didn't know the trick, broke the door down, killed her with a knife.
Yeah.
So far, all the extra evidence has been
Coincided.
consistent with our basic theory. There's some other points of like that we're worried about, but I think that's pretty solid.
Yeah.
Somehow, I have to find out the truth so that we can all survive. And for Sayaka, I have to find out how she was killed. So we couldn't have looked before. All right.
Okay.
I think that's enough for now. We'll pick up next time with the investigation, and maybe we'll even finish it. See you then, guys.